Plus, we've always had a lot of people that come and like to hunt. Unfortunately, we ran into some issues with some poaching down front. So I decided to shut the property down. And the first year I did, we had 54 people stop in that had been using it.
Wow.
On 600 acres. So the pressure was really huge. It's been 3 years and everything's come back really well. The pressure's down. And this is just a really nice way to kind of control who's down there and get to meet the people. Everybody's been awesome so far.
Welcome to the LandTrust podcast, where land, technology, and the outdoors meet. Whether you're a landowner, an outdoor enthusiast, or someone curious about the future of recreation on private land, you're in the right place. Each episode, we share real stories from the LandTrust community, from unforgettable guest experiences to conversations with landowners about their land and why they choose to share it, plus interviews with leaders, shaping how we all experience the outdoors. And now, here's your host, Nick DeCastro.
Welcome to the LandTrust podcast, where land, technology, and the outdoors come together. This episode is part of our new Landowner Spotlight series, where we chat with landowners who've just recently listed their properties on LandTrust. I'm your host, Nick DeCastro, and I'm the founder of LandTrust. Today, our guest is Riley Pitman, a fourth-generation farmer and rancher based in Stow, Maine, right along the New Hampshire border. Their property, Cold River Cattle Company, is as rich in heritage as it is opportunity, offering guests a chance to experience a working Angus cattle farm nestled in the Oxford County foothills. With 600 acres of diverse habitat, visitors can enjoy activities like turkey hunting, bear hunting, hunting for woodcock and waterfowl, as well as fishing and horseback riding. It's a place where agricultural tradition meets outdoor adventure. Riley, welcome to the show.
Hey, nice to meet you.
This series is really about, again, talking to new landowners who've decided to list on LandTrust and just kind of highlight the property, who you guys are as a family operation, and what there is to offer. So I'd love to hear the background of the property.
Great-grandfather bought it in 1948, and it got passed to my grandfather on my mom's side. And then my dad married my mother. He took that over. And then he died a few years ago, and now I'm here.
Were you ranching the whole time, or did you come back to the property when your father unfortunately passed?
Nope, I was here working with him. I went to South Dakota State University for 4 years. We were a dairy farm till 2019.
Okay, so you came back and you switched to beef. Okay, you do beef production. Are you farming as well, or are you just doing kind of crop for grazing?
We do around 10 to 15,000 squares, another 600 rounds, sell to horse clients. And then I help a neighboring farm with row crop.
I've actually not been to your neck of the woods. Is from an agricultural perspective, is it more cattle or is it more row crop?
We have a lot more woods than fields, but it's around here. It's a lot of potato ground. They do a corn potato rotation. So
interesting. I did not know that. And then a lot of timber, just people running timber operations too.
Yes, we have a huge, very large wood operation around here.
Yeah, when I think potatoes, I always kind of think more Western, like Idaho or places like that. I did not kind of picture out there in Maine.
Nope, Northern Maine's really big into it. Around here, we have Green Thumb and Hill Family Farms. They're farming probably 2,000 acres of potatoes.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's I learned something new today. So you guys, I think, just listed in February, pretty new. I believe you hosted a handful of turkey hunts. Your property's really interesting because I think you straddle the border, right? Do you have some in New Hampshire and some in Maine?
Yes. The farm itself is in New Hampshire. I'm sitting in New Hampshire right now, but probably 200 yards behind me is Maine. So that's where all the fields are.
Yeah, it was cool to see some of the first reviews come in. You're kind of one of our... We only have a handful of New England landowners. I actually went to school in Boston, and we'd have to drive. We drove up to the Hampshire border to buy beer when we were in college. So the package stores and stuff. But yeah, the first few turkey hunters that you hosted, I think everyone scored both the New Hampshire and Maine bird. Is that correct?
Yes. The first guy, we had him done in about 2 hours. So
wow,
it was pretty quick. And then
That's awesome.
Second took a little longer. We ran into some rain. We had about 3 inches first day he got here. So.
It's a cool opportunity for folks. As you probably saw, turkey hunters are kind of fanatical. They've definitely got a sickness that they. I think Timber was one of the guys that went up there, and I don't know how many turkey hunts he's booked on LandTrust, but he's just all over the country, just chasing all the different species and states.
Yes.
Well, I'd be curious, how did you hear about LandTrust, and what made you decide to give it a try? Like, what was the motivation there?
Can't remember if it was Farm for Profit first or Barn Talk, but I listened to both. And it was the second time I heard you guys on one of those, and I decided to reach out. And I believe it was Josh I talked to. He was great with you guys and set it all up. It was really easy for me. But it's been going well.
That's great. And so you're just looking to obviously agriculture is, can be tough business. So was the motivation, stacking another kind of enterprise or business revenue line item for you guys?
Yeah. It just takes a little pressure off. Plus, we've always had a lot of people that come and like to hunt. And then, unfortunately, we ran into some issues with some poaching down front. So I decided to shut the property down. And the first year I did, we had 54 people stop in that had been using it.
Wow.
So, on 600 acres. So the pressure was really huge. It's been 3 years and everything's come back really well. The pressure's down. And this is just a really nice way to kind of control who's down there and get to meet the people. Everybody's been awesome so far.
That's great. That's really interesting. I didn't know the background there. So historically, you had let folks, and then you just had problems, people taking advantage or not asking, and is effectively poaching.
Yes, fields getting spun up and stuff like that. And it's just nice to know who's down there.
For the locals, we've heard this too. When I first started this company, it's been almost 6 years now. We're in Montana, and they called them fall friends, but in your case, could be spring too for turkeys. But people that just show up and knock on your door all day, all night. Calling you Sunday nights late. It was just too much, right? It's interrupting your day. You're having to stop work or dinner or whatever it might be. And a lot of our landers originally just loved LandTrust because they say, "Hey, look, go to LandTrust if it's available. Go through there, but please stop the door knocking."
Yep.
Have you been able to direct people to LandTrust to say, "Hey, look, it's available. Like you can access the place, but we just manage it through there"?
Yes, yeah, definitely. I wasn't trying to come across cynical. I definitely There's still a lot of people that when I set this up with you guys, I wanted to leave the whitetail hunting alone. There's a lot of people that I know that like to go down, and it works out well. But the turkey have a really huge, nice population, and it didn't really disrupt anybody around here. So I kind of let them all know, hey, there's going to be some guys down here hunting, and it's been well. And then I'm excited for the bear hunting this fall. I haven't done that, but it'll be interesting.
How's the bear population there?
It's not so like the turkeys. Obviously, you see them all the time. They're not as scared. The black bear, they're very kind of elusive. You'll see them in the spring. They're coming out to eat on the grass and bugs or whatever they're into. But then when they have their cubs, they're around. And then other than that, you'll catch them in the cornfields. There's a lot of baiting. That's huge around here.
Okay, you guys can bait there. Yeah, different states handle that differently. Yeah. And then I think you might be our first property that's ever listed woodcock. So you guys have a pretty good woodcock population up there.
That's kind of my passion. I love that. I grew up bird hunting with my uncles, my father. We've always had a Brittany Spaniel in the house. Ever since I was 2, we've had one. And we've kept the line going. So I think we're on, I think it's 5th or 6th generation of them now. All you can trace back. So, but anyways, really great hunting dogs. I love the whole pointing, finding the birds. But the property down front is really nice for a bunch of alder trees, some lower wetland stuff. So it really supports woodcock.
I grew up a bird hunter too, and we grew up with Brittany's. I grew up in Southern California, and we hunted the deserts for California quail, like valley quail and stuff, and then chucker, and so we've always had Brittany's. My dad still has a Brittany. We got our Brittany's out of Texas, so his current Brittany's like a 52-pound Brittany. They're a little bit bigger version.
Our first Brittany came from Arizona, hunting
Really?
quail. That's where that family originated. And then the female I had in college, again, I was South Dakota, so we got to hunt pheasant over her. So they've gotten to see quail, pheasant, partridge, woodcock, most of them.
You got to get after chucker. I don't know if you've gotten to chase chucker yet, but chucker is such a fun.
No.
That's a fun bird to chase. That makes sense why you went to South Dakota. So you went to South Dakota to bird hunt.
I did. I looked up, again, we were milking cows, and I looked up top dairy schools, and it was in the top 5. And then I always wanted to hunt pheasant, and I was like, well, that's 2 birds, 1 stone. So went out there and brought my bird dog and had a good time.
I did my first South Dakota pheasant hunt last year with a good group of guys from the ag community, a bunch of older guys who've been doing this hunt forever. And I brought my lab. I have a lab now because I lived in Montana. It's 40 below zero sometimes. Just, a little bit more versatile with shooting ducks over water and stuff. But the amount of birds it was immense. And all wild birds, just crazy. It's crazy to see that. Very different from what I grew up, hunting over a single Brittany Spaniel, pointing, retrieving all that stuff. It's just kind of walking rows and doing all that.
I have some friends in Nebraska that they've been doing a really good job bringing the prairie chicken population back. So we got to hunt some of those while I was out there as well. So
that's great. But we've got a lot of landowners in the Sandhills area, like hundreds of thousands of acres in the Sandhills, which it sounds like you might have been down in that region too, but beautiful. And a lot of those guys have pretty healthy prairie chicken populations that, LandTrust sportsmen. We got a lot of bird hunters on LandTrust. So I'm excited to kind of put out that you guys have woodcock, because I think you're the only one so far that's listed with us.
Yeah, me too. Oh, fun random story. There's a guy, they're from Brewster, Mass, and they came up, they own some property abutting ours, and big burly guy, he's an ex-bodybuilder, right? He comes down here, my old bird dog, Chester, we're out bird hunting. Well, he'd had an abscess on his side, and we went to the vet. They, removed it, put a drain so it could be cleaned up and everything. And I was like, is he okay to hunt? And they said, oh, honestly, it's the best thing for him. It'll keep it open, keep it clean. And I said, okay. So I take this guy down bird hunting, and, we've never had Brittany's they always point, but the bird flushes and they'll chase, they're not
steady to flush. Yeah.
Yeah. So he shoots real low at a low flying woodcock, and, the dog's pretty close, and he's like, oh man. And you could tell what he thought. He thought he hit the dog because of that open wound. And the poor guy, he didn't at all. But
yeah.
So he's like, is your dog okay? And I saw an opportunity, and I go, no, you shot him. He's just staring at the dog. This big guy just starts crying. And I was like, no, it's okay. It was just an old wound, but it was fun.
Wow. You really, you scared him a little bit there. Yeah. Hey, look, bird hunting, especially, I don't know. I've never shot woodcock, but I heard they're pretty fast flying birds, low flying birds, but you got to be really careful and who you take out bird hunting. When quail, sometimes they'll let you step on them. They'll blow out underneath your feet. It can give you a heart attack.
Yeah, it's fun. I've always enjoyed taking guys out bird hunting. It's fun.
Yeah, it's a blast. Well, awesome, man. So what kind of guests do you want to have out? Like, ideally, and everyone's different. Some people love to interact with their guests. Most of our 1.4 million acres of landowners are production ag, just like you. Some of them are just saying, hey, you can book it, go out and have fun, and they're busy doing their stuff. Some love hosting. Like, what kind of guests are you, hoping to host?
The ones I've gotten so far this year have been great. They, I guess I'm looking, down to earth guys, just like hunting. They've all been pretty open. I'll see where I've been seeing the turkeys around and stuff, and show them around the property and give them a good idea. But I guess just guys looking to have a good time, looking for birds or girls.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Do it yourself. I mean, that's the thing is our, LandTrust is all about do it yourself. It's not guided, but yeah, a lot of our landowners, of course, you live and work there every day. You're out there. You can kind of give them a lay of the land, but it's a do it yourself thing.
Oh yes. Yeah. Yeah. I guess the guys that have come so far has been perfect. So I guess I don't know what not to look for, I guess. But
and then you've got pretty great fishing, it sounds like. I mean, I was reading the listing. It sounds like you got, you're either on or near a blue ribbon trout stream. So that's something to keep an eye on too.
Yes. The Cold River runs right between fields on both sides of the river. Usually it's about mid-June. This year, we actually saw some down there last night in the pools. There's, little spots. You can always find them. So, but they're a little early this year, but everything's early this year. It was kind of a warm start and then it's kind of mellowed out, but they usually, it's about mid-June. They start coming up through and pool up in the streams.
When will you fish them till?
I think it's usually August, later August.
Okay.
Or even in September. I know I'd have to look, but they do close down live bait. So it's artificial lure only after a certain point. I can't remember the exact date, but it's later in the summer.
That's great. That's awesome. And then it sounds like, from on the last piece, you're willing to host people who, have horses, want to come out and, just enjoy a property horseback. Is that right?
Yes. The Maine snowmobile trail goes right through the property. There's a lot of back trails that are great for horseback riding, plus all the field roads. So really nice views. Plus you got the river.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Well, Riley, I appreciate you coming on, just kind of sharing a little bit about the operation, what you're offering, who you're hoping to host. I'm glad you've had a handful of great experiences already with guests. And, we're doing this to highlight new landowners coming on with really great places like yours. Again, you're one of only a couple in the New England region so far. So we're growing out that way still too. Anything you'd say to any prospective landowners who maybe have heard us on a podcast? And we do, Taylor from our team does do quite a few podcasts. If they're thinking about like any suggestions or any advice?
I'd definitely do it. Don't be afraid of it. Like I said, you guys were really great about setting everything up. It's been really easy to do. The people have been great. Working with you guys have been great. So I would definitely wouldn't hesitate to do it.
Well, I appreciate that, Riley. Yeah, we're grateful for our partners. Our landowners are our partners. You're not our customer. You don't pay us anything up front to do anything. So we just we make money alongside of you as a business partner. So I appreciate you giving us a try, and of course, always give us feedback, good, bad, or ugly. We're here to serve. We're very service oriented, and we got a great team here to help take care of our landowners. But appreciate you coming on this morning and sharing that, and looking forward to hopefully seeing some great bear hunting and woodcock reviews coming through soon.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Man, have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
If you're a landowner who's thinking about listing your land, it's easy to get started. Just head to landtrust.com/landowners to learn more. Or you can call or text our team at any time at 406-709-8450. We're happy to answer your questions and help you get started today. All right, folks, that's a wrap. Thanks for listening, and don't forget, if you're looking for your next great outdoor experience, you know where to find it, landtrust.com. See you next time.